Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video. Going to have a look at when it's 8-16 days in today's video. It's going to take us into the start of July. Winds going into west next week, and it's a little bit uncertain how unsettled these westerly winds are going to be. Potentially, could be really quite unsettled indeed in the north and west, but the south and east probably getting the driest of the weather next week. But overall, it does look a bit mixed, a bit changeable. And of course, we're going into the second month of the summer now. I haven't really had much in the way of sustained dry and warm weather. And when we was doing the summer updates, we said that the years that tend to shift from an El Nino through to a La Nina during the summer, very often they're cool, mixed, unsettled type summers, and I'm just wondering really whether that's what's going on this year, whether we are getting this shift from Nino to Nina, and that's impacting the weather this summer. I'll be doing a new La Nina update, see what's going on in the Pacific at the weekend, probably be on Sunday afternoon, so very interesting to see what that is suggesting. But it is, or so far it has been anyway, one of those traditional mixed, unsettled Nino to Nina type summer patterns. But it's still early days for this summer. We've got July and we've got August still to go. I'll get on with the week to 10-day update in a second. Before I get on with that, to say about the ads, the Chronicles on all the pages. You have a browse widgets and click through the links, you'll be able to pay website. And thanks very much for doing that. This video adds to most pages. They own content when you watch it, close back up again. It helps to pay for gas profits. There's big thunderstorms in the southeast last night. I'm sure you've seen it on the news, the flooding that occurred down across the southeast. It's a lot quieter now. Those storms rumbled off into the North Sea this morning. Things have turned much quieter. But you see we've got more storms beginning to gather down in the channel, particularly coming out of northern France. If you have a look at the lightning detect, see whether those showers are producing lightning. Can't really make it out, but there is a cluster of lightning just beginning to head towards the Channel Islands, moving out of France, and they'll be pushing northwards, I think, through the course of this afternoon. These storms will be pushing in towards eastern and southeastern counties, so there's certainly risk of more big downpours. We may do storm watch later on this afternoon if things do kick off again. I don't think it'll be quite to the extent that we had it last night with lightning and thunder, but I think there will be more big showers around in the southeast through the course of this afternoon. Have a look at where next week's 10 days then. These are the 500 millibar high anomaly flow charts. We've got the ECMWF on the top of the chart as you're looking at it, and the GFS is on the bottom. We will have a look at the GFS in just a second. 500 millibars, 80,000 feet is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure, low pressure being moved around by a jet stream running above. So the ECMWF is placing quite a deep trough of low pressure to the north of Scotland, a ridge in the Atlantic, and the jet stream is going through the country like that. So it does look unsettled, that, particularly so for the north and west. We're closer to the Azores high down in the south, so it'll be a little bit drier there. But generally it's a westerly flow, and you can see where the lines are coming from. That's the jet stream coming from a fairly long way north in the Atlantic. So I do think with that one that the temperatures will be relatively cool. The GFS is even worse because that trough is deeper and further south into the country. That's a very unsettled looking chart. The ridge is pulling out into the central Atlantic, and the jet stream probably on the cool side of the jet there. That looks pretty grim. That's taking us into the start of July, and that doesn't look great at all. That's a deep trough there to the north of Scotland, and the ridge is a long way out. So even in the south, I think, would be very unsettled with that one. It's probably a bit over the top. But these are the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. The red line here is 30-year temperature average, so we're above average at the moment, associated with this thundery plume that is just grazing the southeast of the country. Generally, we're going cool, I think, over the next week or so. Generally trending underneath the red line a little bit, so it will be pretty cool for the time of year. No sign of anything sustained in terms of warmth until maybe the very end of the chart, and even that is a bit patchy. So overall, the temperatures don't look great, actually, as we're going through to the start of July. Now, this big spike here, that's precipitation associated with the thunderstorms that we've had in the southeast overnight, and they get some more later on today. big rainfall spike there. Don't often see these spikes getting to that sort of level on this chart. Beyond that, it looks like we're keeping it rather unsettled really through to the end of June. This is the start of July just here, and again it does continue to be rather unsettled through that part of the chart as well. So unsettled and cool, I think, is what we're looking at next week. The south, this is the ensemble chart for London, the south gets the driest of the weather next week, but you see by these precipitation spikes that there will be rain coming through at times even there. Temperature anomalies for the coming week, generally trending cooler on average. You won't be surprised I'd see that ensemble, so pretty cool from the 23rd of June to the 1st of July. Precipitation, that looking generally wetter than average. The generic charts, this is the GFS chart for Monday, and we're bringing in this westerly flow across the country. That looks showery. Building up a little bit of a ridge in the south on Tuesday, but it still looks unsettled to the north. And then another system comes down across the country on Wednesday. That could bring rain to all of us. Followed again by a slight building of pressure in the south, so a little bit more settled there on Thursday. The north unsettled, quite tightly packed isobars there to the north on Thursday, indicating pretty windy day as well. Might even be gales across the northwest of Scotland. And then we go through into Friday, which is the 1st of June, 1st of July, I should say. And the ridge, again, it's close to the south, keeping southern counties a little bit drier. The north looks very unsettled, though. And the trend really through that first weekend of July, this is the 2nd of July, this is day 10, certainly the 3rd of July, it's just to keep it unsettled and cool with showers or longer spells of rain, particularly in the north. The south closest to this ridge, always getting the driest of the weather, but it doesn't look great even there. ECMWF showing this northwesterly flow coming through on Monday. That looks showery, and we go through into the middle part of next week. That looks very unsettled through into Wednesday. I think we could see a proper band of rain moving across the country on Wednesday. And then Thursday into the end of next week, gradually pressure starting to rise a bit in the south, a bit drier there, still unsettled in the north. We go through into that first weekend of July, Saturday the 2nd, Sunday the 3rd. The idea is still to keep it more settled in the south, not entirely settled even there, but closest to the ridge. It's a little bit better there, but the north does look particularly cool and unsettled. So you have to say that we're going into July seemingly, as we've had it through June, which is quite unsettled. Of course, temperature's a bit above average during June. It's not been a cold month, but it's been a bit of an uninspiring June, with a lot of unsettled weather, and it looks like this is carrying on into July as well. Now, it's too early to say that we're in trouble for the summer if you want a warm and dry summer, but it's just the fact that the patterns aren't changed. Despite the fact that the long range ones, we did the Beijing Climate Centre update yesterday, and that suggested as we go through into July, we should start to get a proper build of pressure and get some sustained dry and warm conditions. But the shorter range models, that's experimental, it's longer range, Beijing Climate Centre. The shorter range models, the ECMWF, the GFS, they're not really going there in terms of settling things down. So for the time being, it looks like we're going into July as we've had it in June, which is pretty unsettled. The difference possibly that the temperatures are going to become cooler. We'll be looking at the JMA model tomorrow for the month ahead with CFSB2 as well, so come back for that. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.